I know you want a healthier body, and you want to ease your soul, So here's some medicines to heal the world. So grow with herbs for health.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Herbs for Health. Now today I'm going to be talking about a condition that a lot of us deal with, and that is constipation. A lot of people go through life and they don't have a lot of bowel movements, and that can lead to a lot of different other issues or diseases, and we don't really know why. And sometimes when you're dealing with things like depression or mood swings, or you're feeling stressed, sometimes we don't connect that with digestive issues. And that's something we're kind of going to talk about. Now, this episode will also be a podcast as well, so you can check out the podcast on iTunes, also Spotify as well. So those of you who are listening to this as a podcast, you can come on over to YouTube. My YouTube channel is Herbs for Health, but I'll also leave a link in the show notes below. Alright, so those who are watching me, I'm going to be looking at my notes, so I'm going to kind of be going back and forth here, because I have some notes and I want to make sure I'm giving you guys all of the points, okay? So, constipation. What is constipation? When we are dealing with constipation, you have people who don't go to the bathroom often. It may be days and days and days, or weeks, sometimes even weeks, and they can't go. That's kind of a really chronic case of constipation. And then you have those who do go, but when they go, it's very hard, or it seems very dry, or it's hard to evacuate. So we have different signs of constipation, and some people may not even know that they're constipated. So we're going to talk about how to deal with constipation, and what herbs we can take, and also food. So if you are a person who's dealing with constipation and it's not very chronic or severe, one thing I would suggest that you look at is your diet. Now, I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist, but oftentimes we're not eating the right foods to help us go. No, you don't know if some people may know, but some people may not know if they're allergic to gluten. So you may be eating a lot of things that have gluten in it, and it's making you constipated. Some of us cannot eat white rice and white bread and things like that. That would make you constipated too. So you want to look at your diet. If you're eating a lot of processed food, fast foods and things like that, a lot of foods that you can buy, like ready meals that you can put in the microwave, you want to avoid that. You want to stick to foods that are whole foods, that have nutritional values, that's going to break down properly in your digestive system. Things that's made for your system to be absorbed and broken down. So, it's very simple. It may sound very simple to a lot of people, and you may say, well, that doesn't work. Well, you may have a more chronic issue. A lot of times, if your constipation is not that severe, like I said, you look at your diet, and also if you're a person who is eating well, you may not be drinking enough water. Your intestines needs that water, that liquid, as well, to help it absorb things and evacuate too. So you want to consider that. Now, another thing I want to say about the diet, now this is for both people who have the chronic issue with constipation and those whose is not very, very severe. I would say you want to stay away from dairy too. A lot of people who eat dairy, they are constipated, or you may not know they're constipated and make you feel bloated. And a lot of people consume dairy a lot. I'm a person who really can't consume dairy, and I don't, because that gives me issues with my stomach. So it's just something that I choose to stay away from, because I know that's a lot of mucus forming. That is a mucus forming food, and sometimes those mucus forming foods can cause inflammation. So inflammation in the intestines, your bowels is inflamed, so you're dealing with a lot of pain there too. So let's kind of move on. So if you're a person who's dealing with chronic constipation, we can take a different approach, a long-term strategy that's going to help you basically rebuild your digestive system, so that you can create an environment within your digestive system that you're going to basically go regularly. So let's look at that. Now, when we are supporting chronic constipation, one thing we want to address is the liver. Your liver is a part of your digestive system, and the liver is very, very important. Now, what the important thing about the liver is this: the liver produces bile, and we know that your liver helps you to detox your body. Now, if your liver isn't functioning properly, it could be a number of things. Constipation can affect your liver, or you may be constipated because your liver is not functioning well. Because your liver, it gets rid of waste. So your liver needs to be able to produce this bile. And let me tell you what bile is. Now, bile, it's like a yellowish type of liquid inside of your system that basically carries away waste. It also breaks down fats during digestion. Okay. Now, when your bowels, when the bowel is breaking down this fats and things like that to waste, what it does, it basically forms into feces. So that's how we, evacuate. And like I said, bile is that color. It's like a yellow brownish color, and also gives your feces that brownish color as well. So we need to support the liver when dealing with constipation, because your liver helps you to eliminate waste. So we need to make sure that the liver is functioning properly and that is strong. So how do we support the liver? There's different type of herbs that we can use to support the liver, and one of those herbs is what you call a bitter herb. So a bitter herb is a herb that I use often when I'm helping different people with any type of stomach issue. Is ginseng. Now, ginseng helps to stimulate digestion. It also increases saliva production and promotes stomach acid. It also helps you to absorb nutrients while helping the liver to produce bile. That does a lot, and it's very, very, very strong. And a lot of people need this herb to produce that stomach acid, to break down their food, to help their liver to produce the bile that it needs to get rid of this waste. And also, a lot of people who deal with constipation, they're not always absorbing the nutrients that they're getting from their food or supplements. So ginseng can also help with that too. Now, another type of herb is called a heptic herb, a heptic herb also helps support the liver too. And one of the heptic herbs that's very, very, very powerful for your liver is milk thistle. Now, like I said, milk thistle helps to strengthen your liver. Basically, helps to restore your liver if it has any type of damage done to it. So, those two types of herbs can help support the liver. And there's a lot more herbs, but these two are very powerful and something that I use often when making my formulas. Alright, so when using a bitter herb or hepatic herb, however you pronounce it, I may be pronouncing that wrong, hepatic herb, you also want to consider using a commemorative herb. Now, commemorative herbs are things like ginger and chamomile. Commemorative herbs helps to basically relax the intestines. If you're dealing with like bloating or gas, this is what a commemorative herb will do. It will help to, relax the digestive system. So again, that's things like chamomile and ginger. Also peppermint too. And that's a very good one. So what we're dealing with, what we said so far is supporting the liver and also supporting the digestive system by adding a calming type of herb to basically relax your intestines. Alright, now the next thing you want to consider is a bulk laxative. Now, a bulk laxative herb are herbs such as slippery elm. Slippery elm, it helps to get things moving. So when you're dealing with bulk laxative herbs, these are basically herbs that helps to absorb liquid in the intestines. So it helps to soften things and, helps to soften your stool, and it makes it easier to pass. Like I said in the beginning, a lot of people who deal with constipation find it very hard to pass, or maybe very dry and brittle. So these bulk herbs like slippery elms actually helps to soften that. So we have what do we have here? A commemorative herb. We have your bulk herbs, your bitters, and the heptic herb, which is a combination of different herbs that's going to help with different parts of your digestion to alleviate this constipation. Okay. Now, there's something very important that I want to talk about, and I kind of touched on it in the beginning. Okay. When it comes to digestive issues, I want to kind of talk about stress. We know that the nervous system and your digestive system, it kind of intertwines. Well, it does intertwine because the nervous system has billions of cells throughout your body. So it connects with, all of the organs in your body. So digestive issues and being stressed out and having depression all goes together. So we need to approach this issue too when we're dealing with digestive issues, such as constipation. Also, that can involve acid reflux and other digestive issues as well. So we have to address that because stress is a big thing. When you're dealing with all of these digestive issues, you can feel stressed out. You can feel depressed. You can have mood swings because your body, your digestive system is filled with this waste and you can't relieve yourself. And you're feeling very sluggish, fatigued, very bloated. You may not even feel motivated to do anything. So you're dealing with this day in and day out. So of course that's going to mess with your mental. So we have to approach this. We have to make sure that the nervous system is healthy. As herbalists, we don't just look at one thing. You tell us that your stomach hurt. We have to ask you a lot more questions with that as well, so that we can understand, well, this person is also having this issue, so we need to address that. This person is also dealing with feeling fatigue. This person has low iron as well as constipation. This person is also feeling depressed. So it's a lot of things, that goes into helping a person get better when you are recommending herbs or making an herbal formulation for this person, because it's not just one thing that they're dealing with. You have to make sure every other part of the body that they're having issues with is healthy too. So going back to the nervous system, when we are taking this approach to help a person who's dealing with stress or depression, we have to look at the nervous system as well as the digestive system. So we approach this with nervines and sedative herbs. Now, nervine herbs helps to support the nervous system. Again, that includes your brains and the nerves. And like I said again, your body has billions of nerve cells, so they connect with each other. Now, some nervine herbs are things like lemon balm, valerian, milky oats, skullcap. Those are all herbs that will help with the your nervous system. Okay, so then we need to talk about these sedatives. Now, these sedatives help to calm the nervous system and also helps to reduce stress and nervousness throughout your whole body. Now, they can also help you with sleep and pain. So I would also like to include that valerian is also a sedative as well as a nervine, because it does both. A lot of people take valerian because they deal with depression, and it helps to calm them down that way. A lot of people have insomnia and they can't sleep, so they would take valerian. Or you may have a person with back pains or muscle spasms, and they would take valerian. So valerian is both a sedative and a nervine, and something you can consider when dealing with constipation, because our mental health is very important throughout this time when you're feeling ill. So we have to make sure that both coincides together. Now, some of the sedative herbs, I already named one, was valerian, but you also have passion flower and kava, and there's a lot more that you can add to the list. But if I was to make a formula for a person dealing with constipation, these are basically the types of herbs that I would use in my formula when addressing these things, because it's not just a stomach issue. We have to look at the liver, and you may have to look at the gallbladder. You have so many important factors when it comes to it. But the number one thing out of this all is, with any type of herbal therapies that you're going to give someone, they must have a very good diet with it, because it will just defeat the purpose. You can give a person herbs and give them recommendations, make a formula, it can be strong, but if you're not eating well with it, then it's not really going to work as much as it should work. So we have covered how to deal with constipation. I hope that it's been very good for you, the information that I provided. I hope that you guys learned something from it. Now, I do want to mention this. If you are dealing with any type of issue and you would like a consultation from me, you can get a consultation. Go ahead and send me an email. I will leave it down below here so that you can see the email. You can send me an email, ask me any questions if you like. We can do a consultation. We can look at some herbs to get you healthy and everything. So this has been another episode of Herbs for Health. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you again on the next video.